Hello and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk with me, Vineet. And first of all, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting our show. आप लोग आ रहे हैं, आप लोग हमारा शो देख रहे हैं. As you all know, ये एक हॉबी शो है जहाँ पे हम अलग-अलग लोगों से बात करते हैं जिनकी कुछ तरीके की हॉबीज होती हैं. जैसे कि अगर आपने पहले वाले शोज देखे होंगे, उसमें भी हैड सब डाई कास्ट कलेक्टर्स जो छोटे छोटे स्केल मॉडल कार्ड्स लाइक दीज दे कलेक्ट. मैं भी एक कलेक्टर हूँ, तो मैंने सोचा कि क्यों ना एक हॉबी शो शुरू करें. And so we have a couple of collectors who joined us. Some of them have gone on to have their own studios, जिन्होंने अपने हॉबी से एक प्रोफेशन बना लिया है और वो अब अपने मजे की जिंदगी जीते हैं. ना कि जो जिंदगी उनको कहा गया था कि आप डॉक्टर, लॉयर, इंजीनियर या ये सब बन सकते हैं, लेकिन एक अलग तरीके की मजेदार जिंदगी जीते हैं. And today we've got somebody very different for you. Somebody, let me show you a picture of his. मैं आपको उनके एक फोटो दिखाता हूँ. There you go. So as you can see, the little kid, the little roly-poly kid in front of us is going to be joining us on the show. Obviously, this is not him. ये अब वैसे नहीं दिखते हैं. लेकिन I thought it was very important to start the show from this particular picture because when you see him today और जो वो आज बन चुके हैं, I think it's very very inspiring. जब मैंने भी ये देखा और जब मैंने भी उनकी कहानी सुनी, तो मैंने कहा कि ये एक ऐसे इंसान है जिनको हमें आज शो पे लाना चाहिए, उनसे बात करनी चाहिए और उनकी जो जिंदगी अभी तक रही है और उन्होंने क्या क्या अचीवमेंट्स की हैं, वो सब आप लोगों के सामने लाके उन्हीं के जरिए सुनना चाहिए. So you've seen him. Now let's see who he really is today. Amit ji, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, hello Vineet. Thank you for having me on the show.
Now, as you can see, we have a picture of you over here. But before that, I'm going to remove this picture so that everybody can see who you really are, look like today. There you go. There we have Amitji, who's there with us today. You can see him nice up close and personal. Thank you, Amit, for joining us on the show today. And we were just looking at one of your older pictures and all. I'm just going to pull that up in front of us right now. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Is that really you?
हाँ, ये मैं ही हूँ. This is my school days photograph.
तो यहाँ पे जब मैं आपसे थोड़ी देर पहले बात कर रहा था, तो आपने कहा था ये आपके लिए एक अलग सा नाम था. Can you tell us what that name was? आपको लोग क्या बुलाते थे स्कूल पे?
या एक्चुअली जब मैं स्कूल में था तो मेरे जो फ्रेंड्स थे वो छोटा हाथी करके चलाते थे. दे यूज्ड टू कॉल मी बेबी एलिफेंट एंड ऑल दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. तो बट या ये तो स्कूल में चलता ही है बिकॉज़ आई वाज प्रीटी फैट गाय एंड mostly into studies all the time. And then और मुझे actually I was not very inactive or something, but I think I was a lot. I had huge love with the food, and my mother. I'm the only son. बस खिलाओ इसको kind of person. So I think it was not inactivity because I was always active. I used to go to school on cycle and all, but I think this is more about you know too much of good food.
Too much of good food, and I think too much of mama's love. I think that is what it
Yes,
is.
yes.
आपके obviously पेरेंट्स आपके साथ बहुत प्यार करते थे कि ये भी खिलाओ, वो खिलाओ, खूब बादाम, पिस्ता और ये सब तो आपको खूब खिलाया होगा. आप नागपुर से हैं, so I think Tikatpuri and all of these other places, Nasik and all of that is very close by. You get a lot of nice kaju, badam, pista, ये सब जो dry fruits तो आपको खूब सारे मिलते होंगे. And that actually shows, जो आपका पहले था. But anyway, वो तो स्कूल की बात है. जब हम लोग सारे स्कूल में थे तो ऑब्वियसली हमारी सेहत का थोड़ा सा ज्यादा ही ध्यान रखा जाता था. बट व्हाट इज इंटरेस्टिंग इज दैट वहां से आप अब क्या बने. आई एम जस्ट गोना पुल अप दैट स्लाइड शो एंड वी जस्ट गोना go from where that was and maybe you can just tell us about what that was. तो ये तो आपकी सबसे पहले की थी. कि आप ऐसे दिखते थे, गोइंग फॉरवर्ड एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट। लेकिन जब आप और आगे गए तो आपका वो एकदम चेंज हो गया, यू वेंट ऑन टू बिकम समथिंग लाइक दिस। इसके बारे में बताइए, टेल मी अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट दिस, व्हाट इज दिस?
या एक्चुअली मैं ताइक्वांडो में ब्लैक बेल्ट हूँ मैं, और I used to do a lot of taekwondo maybe 10 years back, and because of taekwondo only I started running more and doing more training. और इसके पहले मैं बॉडी बिल्डिंग करता था जब मैं I was in final year MBBS. You can go to that bodybuilding.
So let's go to that bodybuilding wala shot and let's just talk about that 1 second. There we go. Oh, 1 second. Let's just go back. Sorry about that.
Go back.
There you go. Tell me about this.
तो एक्चुअली मेरा जो फिटनेस जर्नी वो बॉडी बिल्डिंग से शुरू हुआ. I was like very big time into gym, and I used to train a lot, and from a fat guy actually I turned myself into something like this, and I used to do a lot of heavy weight training, and almost extremely passionate guy about training weights. And at that time, Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say my God for me. So
लेकिन एक बात बताइए कि वहां से लेके यहाँ पर आपको बॉडी बिल्डिंग और ये जो दूसरा हम देख रहे हैं, क्या बोलते हैं आपका ताइक्वांडो वाला, जो ये वाला है, आप ब्लैक बेल्ट बन गए ताइक्वांडो में. सो व्हाट वाज योर इंस्पिरेशन एक्चुअली, टू गो फ्रॉम दिस टू दिस? क्या क्या आपके दिमाग में सूझी और आपने क्या ठान ली कि नहीं, मैं छोटा हाथी से अब एक काला ब्लैक बेल्ट पहनने वाला फाइटिंग फिट एनर्जी मशीन बनना चाहता हूँ? आई मीन व्हाट वाज दैट मोटिवेशन? क्या क्या आया आपके दिमाग में?
actually, I think motivation was, when I was in 10th class, I had put on a lot of weight. So, because of, only studying and, trying to score as much as marks like 95, 94%, whatever, so that, I can get into medical school. So, that was the only aim at the time. But after giving my 12th grade exam, I then joined a gym, and then I started lifting weights and all, and then suddenly I realized that there is a very big world of this fitness which is available, and I started spending a lot of time on understanding how to train, and what kind of nutrition I should be eating, because I started studying a lot of biochemistry, physiology in my medical school.
Right.
So because of that, I actually started changing myself into a kind of fitness expert and a bodybuilder, and then it went on more and more, because for many years I was just a fat guy, and who had never been to any sports team, rejected out of NCC team,
अच्छा,
always made fun of. So then
तो
suddenly I realized
आप एनसीसी के रिजेक्ट हैं, ये आप बोल रहे हैं? आप एनसीसी ने आपको रिजेक्ट कर दिया था?
actually.
So,
और अभी मैं पुलिस की टीम को ट्रेनिंग देता हूँ, just imagine.
oh my God. So then what happened? तो अब क्या हुआ? उसके बाद क्या हुआ? तो आप बॉडी बिल्डिंग में घुसे, उसके बाद फिर आपने ब्लैक बेल्ट ताइक्वांडो. तो ताइक्वांडो का शौक कहाँ से आया? ठीक है, बॉडी बिल्डिंग तो ठीक है, आपको अपना फिट होना था, हाथीपन आपको छोड़ना था, but then what about taekwondo? How did you get into that?
Yeah, actually, I shifted more into taekwondo because I thought bodybuilding, because I was traveling, I was working, and because of that, I couldn't have access to gym or something. तो मैंने फिर मुझे एक अच्छा ग्रुप मिल गया, and then I actually started training with them, and then suddenly I realized that there is this martial arts world available.
Wow.
you don't have to be like some very bulky guy or something. And but this is amazing. So I stopped all my weightlifting and all. I started training more on the bodybuilding part, on the martial arts part. And then from there I actually leaned down myself into a martial arts kind of guy, a more leaner, thinner, because I didn't wanted all these big muscles from that point onwards. And then that is how you
you
can
get
see
this.
my photograph, and that's my.
Now tell me about this thing. I mean, like, uh, from there to coming to this achievement, it's like, ये बताइए ये सब क्या है? I mean, how did you manage to become winner of Deccan Cliffhanger 650 किलोमीटर बाइक रेस? ठीक है, आपने तो बॉडी बिल्डिंग कर ली, अपना हाथीपन हटा दिया, मोटापन हटा दिया, उसके बाद आप फिर ब्लैक बेल्ट ताइक्वांडो में बन गए। ये साइकिलिंग का कहाँ से आपको भूत सवार हो गई? उसका क्या सीन है?
Actually, after Taekwondo, because in Taekwondo, my teacher used to make me run a lot.
जी।
So हम ऑलमोस्ट हफ्ते में 3 दिन तो रनिंग ही ज्यादा करते थे.
अच्छा।
तो फिर then I thought, why don't I try running some marathons or 10-kilometer race or a half marathon. And then I started doing more on running, and I
Right.
started doing well in marathons. In different marathons which were organized in the country at that particular time. And
Right.
then फिर उसके बाद में मुझे ना एक आयरन मैन करके कॉम्पिटिशन होता है.
उसके बारे में
तो
आपको
उस
कहाँ से पता चला? आई मीन, ओके, ठीक है, आप मैराथन मैराथन में भागने लगे, ये सब है ना, फिर ये आयरन मैन का कहाँ से? आई मीन, इट इज एन एक्चुअल प्रोग्रेशन, किसी ने आपको बारे में बताया था, क्या हुआ था?
एक्चुअली मैंने आयरन मैन के बारे में यूट्यूब पे देखा था.
अच्छा।
बिकॉज उस वक्त तो आयरन मैन इंडिया में होता ही नहीं था.
राइट।
So I had just seen Iron Man, that race videos and all, and it was very exciting because you have to swim in the ocean, and then you have to get out of the ocean, and then you have to do cycling, and then you have to come back, and then you have to run a marathon after that cycling. So I thought it's very exciting, this whole sport. But I didn't knew both the sport. Actually, मुझे swimming और cycling में इतना कोई ट्रेनिंग नहीं थी मेरी. और
ओ
स्विमिंग
माय
में तो
गॉड।
मैं स्कूल था.
तो आपको स्विमिंग नहीं आती थी, आप सिर्फ भाग सकते थे, और आपने कहा कि नहीं, मैं अब स्विमिंग भी सीखूंगा, साइकिलिंग भी सीखूंगा, और मैं आयरनमैन में पार्टिसिपेट करूंगा। आई मीन, ठीक है, पार्टिसिपेशन तक तो यूट्यूब को देख के हम सब लोग इन्फ्लुएंस होते हैं, मोटिवेट भी होते हैं, लेकिन टू गेट फ्रॉम जस्ट बीइंग मोटिवेटेड टू एक्चुअली go on and do it, आपने कितने आयरन मैन में वैसे पार्टिसिपेट किया है, और कितने आयरन मैन आप जीते हैं?
या मैंने अराउंड 16 places में पार्टिसिपेट किया है, all different places in the world, and I've also done some triathlons in India also. So almost like 16 races in all. And और अभी भी मैं वही करते रहता हूँ. आयरन मैन तो चलते रहता है मेरा.
Yeah, I mean, if we just look at the screen over here, I mean, winner of Deccan Cliffhanger 650-kilometer bike race, first runner-up, Great Himalayan Ultra, Shivalik Signature Ironman, 11 15 Ironman, 8 full marathons, winner of Chennai Triathlon, winner of Tonur Lake, winner, sir, आप एक इतने बड़े winner हैं. Tell me one thing, I mean, what was your actual, you know, motivation behind this thing? We see all of these things, हम ये सब लोग देखते हैं, हम ये सारी चीजें. Okay, I think Dr. Amit is adjusting his thing over there.
Yeah, yeah. The main motivation behind it, I'm now an endurance coach. करते रहना है. So this is actually a part of my life and my profession. And just a second.
Okay, so while Amit ji adjusts his, you know, we'll
Yeah.
just, okay, you're
So this
back.
is part of the profession and also part of my life actually. And
लेकिन
I
आप एक
see
डॉक्टर है
myself
ना?
doing this. और अब actually Ironman का तो actually I see myself doing this for next 20 years.
So,
So
so tell me one thing. ये तो ठीक है. I mean that you see YouTube videos now. This was आप मेडिसिन कर रहे थे. आप एक okay. अमित जी.
keep going, sir.
Okay, cool. Uh, आप ये जब सब कर रहे थे, you were also practicing medicine or were you studying medicine or what was the deal there?
Yeah, I after my MBBS, I did my I practiced medicine for almost 5 years, and after that, I went for my master's in public health. So, master's in public health, I did in Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, और उसके बाद में then I came back to India, and then I was again working with some international NGO called as Access Health International, mostly into research and consulting. And then I was working as a chief operating officer for Save a Mother Foundation
Right,
for almost 2 years.
right.
But parallelly, I always used to train for a marathon or go to an Ironman race. तो ये सब हमेशा चलते रहता था. It was a kind of a serious passion for me, not like not a hobby or something. It was a serious passion.
तो
And
मतलब आप एकदम
somewhere
तो मतलब आप एकदम एक सरफिरे टाइप के इंसान बन गए थे फ्रॉम देयर टू हियर वेयर यू हैड इट इन योर हेड कि नहीं मैं तो ट्रेन करूंगा ही और मैं जीतूंगा भी. Motivation was obviously at top level, but what was that motivation? Why did you want to do it? क्या ऐसा क्या था? I mean you were already accomplished, you were already a CEO of the organization for health and everything, what was it that motivated you?
yeah, it is a very big decision actually to do something like this. After working as a chief operating officer and already being identified to become a CEO.
Right.
And but I have always had this some kind of a sense that I want to do something in sports. कि मेरा वो जो
Right.
स्पोर्ट्स का जो एक लाइफ है वो कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ है और मैं ये जूडो वाले काम कर रहा हूँ you know, और एक I'm sitting in office and giving orders, making some kind of a strategy and all those kind of things. But I just wanted to do maybe something in sports. और main actually motivation की मुझे स्पोर्ट्स एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है स्पोर्ट्स which will actually make money and give me livelihood, something like that. And so out of that whole thinking and mindset, I actually one day told my boss that this is not the job I want to do for the rest of my life,
क्या बात
and
है.
I want to go and try something else. So, and I think that was the best decision of my life actually. And I left that job and I came back.
आपने वो नौकरी छोड़ दी और आप वापस आ गए. Now I just want to get our viewers up to this back to this slideshow where we're just going to share some more slides of your achievements that we have over here. You went this, you did this, and then endurance athlete, sports entrepreneur, director Pro Health Foundation, director Miles in Endurance Sports Academy. I mean, what led to you doing all of these things? Was it just you said bore ho gaya tha, ye nahi karna hai, and I want to go and achieve all of these things? ये क्या हुआ?
या एक्चुअली ये तो मीन्स एक मीन्स थॉट और आइडिया था। मैं और मेरी वाइफ और मेरे एक फ्रेंड है अनिल पंड्या, तो
जी।
हमने सोचा कि ये जो मैराथन इवेंट्स हो रहे हैं ऑल ओवर इंडिया, so there is a massive opportunity to create an organization, a social enterprise which will organize sports events, promote endurance sports, then provide training for endurance sports, and then we will organize these events, and we will be kind of a self-growing company.
Right.
And that was the objective, and that's why we established this foundation. And Miles and Miles is our training club name.
Right.
So we started this in Nagpur, and that's where we started this 5 years back actually. And now we have more than 250 athletes who train with us, and we organize marathon, we organize cyclotron, we organize triathlon, and we provide training. So we are full time into this field now.
Awesome. So tell me about this next thing that I want to share with you. All these medals, इतने Iron Man and this and that and everything. ये तो आपके सारे medals हैं, 16 से ज़्यादा medals जीते हैं. And then this Ram. Now, what is Ram? और Ram में आपने participate किया. आपको ये राम का भूत कहाँ से सवार हो गया कि मैं अब ये इसमें राम में जाना चाहता हूँ? और मैं I mean, I understand everybody is, religious and things like that, and I'm sure you're also very religious. तो क्या आपका ये क्या है?
Yeah, actually ये जो रेस अक्रॉस अमेरिका का जो टूर है, वो एक्चुअली मैंने नहीं शुरू किया है। अल्ट्रा साइक्लिंग इज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट स्पोर्ट दैट डूइंग आयरन, because ultra cycling is generally very very longer than Ironman. जैसे Ironman तो 16 घंटे में खत्म हो जाता है,
Right.
पर अल्ट्रा साइक्लिंग के जो रेसेस होते हैं वो 32 hours, 36 hours. Some races are multi-day races, and like 12-day race or 25-day race. So actually, मैं जब नागपुर आया तो मैं यहाँ पे साइकिल चलाता था, काफी अच्छी चलाता था। मेरे 200-300 किलोमीटर में बहुत अच्छा चलाता। Means I used to do very fast 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers cycling. So one of my friend, Sachin Palwar, he said that why don't you try ultra cycling? You are very good at long distance cycling, and you maintain very good physique and all. तो उन्होंने मुझे बिना पूछे मेरे को एक रेस में रजिस्टर कर दिया, जो कि डेक्कन की फाइनल करके रेस होती है। तो उसमें उन्होंने मुझे रजिस्टर कर दिया, और हमने वो रेस 2015 में की, और फिर उसमें मैं रेस के पास अमेरिका के लिए क्वालिफाई हो गया।
Very
और
good.
फिर
रेस अक्रॉस अमेरिका जो है, जैसा कि हम अपना स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं, it starts from the west coast and it goes all the way across to the east coast. It's 5,000 kilometers, non-stop race जो है, 4 time zones है, and it's not like it's a flat race. Total elevation 40,000 meters, equals to climbing 4 Mount Everest. I mean, इसके लिए तो प्रिपेयर करना और सारा कुछ करना। हमारे पास यहाँ पे क्या इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल है कि हम इस टाइप ऑफ ग्रूलिंग रेस के लिए कोई भी प्रिपेयर कर सकता है? क्या करना पड़ा आपको? कितना टाइम लगा आपको ये सब इस चीज के लिए प्रिपेयर करने के लिए?
या एक्चुअली इसको प्रिपरेशन के लिए तो हमको 1.5 साल लगा, और हम पहले मैंने एक्चुअली 2016 में पहले मैं गया, और मैंने रेस एक दूसरे राइडर को प्रूव किया
अच्छा।
और मैंने पूरा रेस के बारे में समझा और ये रेस कैसे होती है। मैं और मेरा एक फ्रेंड विनीत, हम दोनों गए और हमने क्रूइज की 2016 में, और हमने
राइट।
वो राइड को पूरा देखा कैसे वो सक्सेसफुली रेस करते हैं। 5,000 किलोमीटर चलाना है, 12 दिन के अंदर चलाना है। तो ये हमने पहले जाके देखा 2016 में, और फिर हमने वापस आए और हमने फिर हमारे सारे फ्रेंड्स और सपोर्टर्स को बताया कि ये रेस ऐसा होता है और इसके लिए इस तरह से तैयारी करनी होती है और इसमें इतना फाइनेंशियल इस फाइनेंसेस लगेंगे और इतना सारा इक्विपमेंट लगेगा, सारी चीजें लगेंगी। तो ये सब हमने हमारे सपोर्ट ग्रुप में उसको बताया और फिर मैंने ट्रेनिंग शुरू की। और जो मेरा जो सपोर्ट ग्रुप था उन्होंने स्टार्टेड raising funds, raising finances to do the race, and I started training myself. Because it's such a long race, 5,000
Yeah.
kilometer has to be done inside 12 days. So
Right.
12 days के अंदर आपको 5,000 किलोमीटर चलाना है, और which actually comes down to doing 450 kilometers every day.
Wow.
So for 20 days, it's that too. So you will be on the cycle for almost 21 to 22 hours a day,
Right.
and you will only get to sleep for some 90 minutes to 2 hours. That's it.
No,
This
fair
is
enough. I
straight
mean,
for 20 days.
wow. So that is what I mean. It's absolutely crazy and all. जैसे कि आपने बताया कि support की बहुत जरूरत होती थी. So let's get in. I've got somebody else also from your support team here with us to tell us a little bit more. And we've got Mr. Jitendra Nayak here with us. Welcome, Jitu, to the show. How are you?
Like,
Sorry to keep you waiting. Tell us
no,
tell us about this thing, man. I mean, like, what is this? I mean, supporting Dr. Amit in this particular thing. How did you get involved with Dr. Amit, and what made you support him, and what made you believe in him, or did you know him from before? Yeah, कैसे how did you get into the whole zone? आप भी एक एथलीट है, आप भी एक साइकिलिंग फिटनेस, आपने भी आयरन मैन में पार्टिसिपेट किया है और आप भी बॉडी बिल्डिंग करते हैं. देखो, अमित जी हंस रहे. I mean, like, come on, man. I mean, he's your supporter, right? जीतू जी, बताइए, what is
okay,
the asli? How
okay.
did you get into it?
So first of all, hello everybody. Happy to be on the show. Can you hear me well? Is there an echo?
I don't have an echo. Do you have an echo?
I'm getting some sort of echo.
आप
Anyway,
बोलिए,
shall I
please.
continue?
It's all good. Yeah.
Okay. Jimmy, you know me very well. I used to do some cycling in college when we were there together. But
Right.
beyond that, I'm not really a sports person. So I'm based in Nagpur, and we have a friend circle, and we do some fundraisers and social projects. And so this friend of ours, Bhanu, who was actually following Amit's progress or Amit's career very closely. He introduced me to Amit, and he told me that Amit is got great potential. This guy can go on the world stage. And so I just got a little curious and I
Okay.
was asking him more about him. So he said, why don't we meet him and let's see, how it goes. So he arranged a meeting and we met in Bhanu's office. Amit told me about himself and that he had done the Deccan Cliffhanger so he had really done uh, now looking back at it, the small stuff, 650 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers. I think he had completed the Wagah border, Delhi Wagah, and back. I think it was about 1,000
Yeah.
kilometers at the time. So that was about what he had achieved, and then he was an Ironman also. But talking to him, I got that feeling that this guy has got tremendous, I don't know, some sort of a tremendous courage. Whether it comes out of his moral courage or I don't know what it was, but I felt a very, very strong courageous guy whom I was talking to. But and the task in front of us was the RAM, because why Bhanu introduced me to him was the RAM is a very expensive proposition. On an average, this should cost about anywhere between 30 to 40 lakh rupees to, to take an entire crew of at least 14 people, at least. Um, Remember, this is a 12 days, max 12 days, non-stop affair. The rider is on his own. There is no support from the organizers, and the support crew has to feed him, take care of him. The format is very, very strict. There has to be a follow vehicle throughout at a distance of 15 feet from the rider throughout their entire 5,000-kilometer journey, except some places where you can leapfrog and where you get into tight villages and towns. There you cannot really stop the traffic. It's a single lane, right? So then you are expected to move ahead. So, but most of the time you have to follow. And if the rider is found without the follow car, then he gets penalties. And it's a very strict race. The penalties are every time the crew makes any mistakes, the rider has to pay penalty of 1 hour. He is stopped 1 hour at the next, the time. There are these time posts, where they'll make you halt and make you pay the penalty of halting you for an hour. So anyway, so that was what RAM was all about. I just overspeed होके आगे बात कर दिया मैंने. But just coming back to this meeting with Bhanu, so this was what was required. He needed special bicycles, which have to be very high endurance bicycles. At least three different types of bicycles, which I think Amit will give more information on. And that alone was costing around budget of I think 15-16 lakh rupees. And then there's a whole lot of gear, and there's a whole lot of preparations. And so you have a follow vehicle, you have to have a auxiliary vehicle. We call it the aux vehicle, right? So these are the two SUVs which are compulsory. Because this guy is riding 24/7, may halt for a couple of hours for a small nap or to relieve himself, but he's riding 24/7. The crew cannot last 24/7. The crew has to rotate in 12 hours, right? So you have three guys in one vehicle: the driver, the navigator, and the guy behind who hands over him stuff and takes care of him while on the go, right? He's not going to stop for his food, and he has to be fed and given stuff out of the car on the go. So three in there, three to back him up, right? That's six in at any point of time, and these six have to be replaced in the night shift. You get my point? So that's 12. Then everybody has to be fed. You are out in the open. You are in countryside. I mean, you are not going to eat burgers at any point, right?
Yeah, right. So not only were you taking care of him, but you were also in shifts rotating amongst yourself, trying to make sure कि इसके जो खाना तो मिल रहा है, डॉक्टर अमित को तो मिल रहा है, लेकिन अपन को भी खाना खाने का है, अपन की शिफ्ट है, वो भी ट्रैवल कर रहा है, उसको कौन सिलाएगा, उसके खाने का क्या सीन है, and all of this, So coming to the food and all, tell me a little bit about the food, because okay, when you're जैसे you are in US and all, तो वहाँ पे खाने का इतना इशू आपको था, या आप सारा का सारा खाना यहीं से लेके गए थे, पैकेज करके उसको क्या करके, what was the nutrition and all of that stuff like?
Yeah. So actually यहाँ से कुछ तो ले गए थे हम लोग थेपला वाला, but you are going to see, we went 1 month, we were there 1 month almost, right? So 12 दिन का वो पूरा शो था. मैं और मेरी वाइफ दोनों 15 दिन पहले गए थे. Of course, Amit was there already 2 months in advance because he wanted to practice on those difficult sections which he had seen in the previous year when he had done the crewing for Shauna Hogan. So हम लोग पहले गए थे. We spent some time with the family, but as such, India का खाना तो उतना time you cannot. So what we did was we bought stuff along right in the beginning, at the start point, in Oceanside. So my wife, she went on a spree. She stocked everything. So we had a RV, right, the recreational vehicle, which has bed bunks and you could sleep 7 people. So we needed two drivers for that also. So you see, 12 in the two SUVs, and then you needed two drivers in the RV, and then my wife, his mother. So the whole, the unit was about 14 people. And while we were cooking Indian food, and we were feeding a lot of the other, other crews along the way whom we made friends with, everybody used to come in for some curry and some nice Indian chapati. But Amit's nutrition was quite specific. He had to be on high protein, and he had to have his ensures. And you know what happens with bikers who go on these kind of expeditions? In the beginning, they are very well behaved, but as they reach midway, they start getting cranky. Okay, and then they want all sorts of stuff which you are not going to find so easily. So you'll suddenly say, "I want a, let's say, a ham sandwich." Okay, and you are in the middle of nowhere, and the closest place where you're going to find a McDonald's or a Burger King or something will be 50 miles that way. So the ox vehicle would run 50 miles, pick up his ham sandwich, bring him a nice cup of coffee, and you would get back to him and you would hand it, because we have to pamper him literally. The whole thing is you have to keep his spirits up. He is going through a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, and his mind is going crazy. And the only thing which can help him is what he's taking in. So it's either kind words from us, encouragement, and the food which he's having, right? And food is very important because he's burning easily something like 7 to 8,000 calories on any given day. So he needs to keep feeding himself, or that much of food, and it's all on the go. So there was a lot of learning for us. So like I said, it was a motley crew, man. We were all rookie crew, except for one guy who was with Amit in the previous year, Vivid. Everybody else was new, and we didn't have drivers, for all these three vehicles. So we had to recruit right in the US. I called my brother, and he came for 3 days. Then somebody filled in, another relative of mine. Then Amit's aunt came in for 3 days. That's how we did the whole thing. And the whole our bottleneck was the drivers, and none of us, although we were allowed to drive on Indian licenses, but you see, you're driving in much faster traffic on the on fast highways, many places, left side of the road, and many of the rules you don't know about, right? And remember, it's not just that you're breaking traffic rules, but every rule you break, and there are inspectors, hiding everywhere and watching, they give you a penalty, and that becomes very, very critical. So that was what the task was, and initially we were all, floundering and didn't know what to do. We were a little clueless in the beginning, but very soon, in the second, third day, we caught on, and we realized how to navigate, how to do the whole thing.
Right. So you've also mentioned here कि Amit ji suffered fever and dehydration, as we can see in the slide that is there with us. तो जब वे बीमार हो गए थे, I mean, what was going through your mind and all of that stuff as well? कि भाई, he's got fever and all of those things. How important was it to keep him motivated? And at this point, I'd like to ask Amit also कि Amit, बुखार हो गया, सब कुछ हो गया, क्या सैराडोन लिया, क्रोसिन लिया, ठीक हो गए, चलने लगे, या जीतू जी बाकी सब लोगों ने आपको कुछ और मोटिवेशन करा, क्या करा? व्हाट वाज दैट अबाउट? यहाँ में तो बुखार हो जाता है, हम लोगों को डिहाइड्रेशन हो जाता है, वहीं पे फ्लैट पड़ जाते हैं, डॉक्टर बोलते हैं इंजेक्शन लगाओ, ये करो, वो करो, and then we get back on the thing. What was it for you? I mean, how did that work out?
Yeah, actually, I got dehydrated in Arizona very badly, and it was there was a time station, a checkpoint called as Salome, right in the Arizona desert, and I remember I stopped at that particular checkpoint, and I said that I am feeling very bad, and I went to the restroom, and when I saw the color of my urine, it was the most horrible color I have ever seen in my life. And I just came out and I told my wife that there is something totally wrong inside. And I said I want to rest for some time, and then we extended that rest period from some 10-15 minutes to almost 45 minutes. and in that time I drank a lot of water and all. I remember my mother gave me some food, and I kind of recovered, and and then by that time, actually, my crew prepared, something to keep me cool. So my wife, she got me a sports bra, and I put on that sports bra. And there is a photograph of that, and then inside that sports bra, we actually put on some of the ice packs and to keep me cool in the desert. And then from there, actually the suffering started. And then what happened is, because of drinking a lot of cold water and due to this dehydration thing, I actually developed sore throat and I knew second day that I'm gonna get fever. And but we still continued. We never stopped because of all these things. We might have taken some 10-minute more longer breaks, but we didn't stop. And I actually biked the third, fourth, and fifth day of RAM in all fever only. And I got recovered on the bike itself. Means I was doing 450 to 500 kilometers, and I was going means without. I was just put on antibiotics and paracetamol, and then that's it. Just ride, because this project was so important, and we had invested so much of time onto this that there was no reason to stop or anything, because it's, I think, RAM is not meant for everyone. RAM kind of races, it is meant for only few people, who would like to really test themselves, and whether they don't even care whether they die doing this, because it's a passion actually. I think it's a extremely job of an extremely passionate guy, who just doesn't want to say that he has given up. So and then we went on. So next 3 days in fever, and then I recovered, and then I still remember that on the fifth day when we crossed the halfway of RAM, I told my crew that we will be doing this successfully. It's still halfway, and I said this is where means the biggest job has been already done. It is just another halfway to go, and we have more than 6 days. And I still remember that place. Actually, it's still there in my mind, and I remember that moment so nicely that. I told my crew that the job is done. Means it's all actually it's all over in the mind now. It's just the formality to be done for another 5 6 days. And but yeah, we still had a lot of problems later on ninth day, 10th day, because of the sleep deprivation kicking in. Because even in commando training, they will test your sleep deprivation for 4 to 5 days. If you see our Indian commando training, it's 5 days of sleep deprivation. But in this race, RAM, it is 12 days of sleep deprivation. So it is not everybody's job actually. Going sleep deprived for 12 days, and riding hard on the bike, and also traveling and across time zones and climbing hills and facing rain, heat, everything. So
Yeah, I can understand. It would have been, I think physically तो आप train कर रहे हैं, और जब भी आप पहले गए होंगे, you said you acted as a support for one of the other riders who had gone, and you got yourself acclimatized to ये क्या है, किस हिसाब से होता है, and all of that. लेकिन जब आप अपने आप उसको करने लगे, when you actually got in there, did it yourself, and when you were in the driving seat or the riding seat in this point, I should say, I mean, you would have soon realized that it is not just the physical strength and training that you do that and all, but it's all here, isn't it? At the
It's
end of the day,
actually it's a mental race. Mental race means mental and I think spiritual also after a point in time, because you should have that spirit, to undergo that much of suffering, and after a point in time you actually start liking it. Means you are passionate about it, and then you want to, it's like uh, I don't know, it's like a machine or it's like a ghost like a thing. Especially the Trans-Siberian Extreme, I would say it's like a ghost. Only ghosts can do this. Yeah, that is why I write on my T-shirt "Ghost Rider."
We can't hear
We
you.
can't hear you. We can't hear you.
1 second. Okay. Now, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I said, so yeah, that movie also might have been very, very inspiring for you. Although Nicolas Cage did a terrible job in that movie, because Ghost Rider, I used to read the comics, growing up and all. And Ghost Rider was nothing like the soft, mushy character that was portrayed in the movie and things like that. Ghost Rider was not like that. He was somebody who loved the pain. He was somebody who loved the anguish. He was somebody who was just fighting with his dark side and things like that. And when you're telling us that you actually subscribe to pain, आप pain के दीवाने हो गए कि जब तक आपको pain नहीं मिलेगी, आपको gain नहीं मिलेगा. And I think the saying as it goes, no pain, no gain. And
Yeah.
at this point, and especially in this particular thing, and जो आप हमें बता रहे हैं, I think it was absolutely, absolutely true. आपके लिए तो हुआ ही होगा, लेकिन जीतू और जो सपोर्ट क्रू है आपकी, और जो इतने सारे लोग थे वहाँ पे, और जो आर्मी में जैसे अभी हमने देखा था वहाँ पे कर रही है, going there, doing this, supporting you, making sure कि आपका दिमाग भी ठीक है, आपका बॉडी टेम्परेचर ठीक है, आपका फिजिकली ठीक है. I mean, it's like pampering a baby, you know. I'm sure you would have got very, very cranky or things like that. ये छोटा बच्चा है, इसको साइकिल दे दिया
Yeah.
चलाने को, अब बेटा चला साइकिल, और अगर तूने कुछ बोला या कुछ किया तो, and the sad thing, another thing, as a support crew, you couldn't even say anything to him, ना आप इसको
No.
कुछ डांट सकते थे, ना
Right.
आप इसको कुछ मार सकते थे. बच्चा होता है, कुछ नहीं करता है, दो थप्पड़ लगाए, चलो भाई ठीक हो गया, तू चल कर ले साइकिलिंग, वापस साइकिल पे बैठ कर. Because here, I mean, he's a grown man. He's a doctor. He's done everything. He's accomplished. He's a black belt in Taekwondo. And at that point in time, what must be going through his head? So I think you guys were actually also the mental doctors who played with his brain and got him to do that. I can understand,
Yes.
Dr. Amit is also very, very strong and everything, but at the end of the day, आप सिर्फ साइकिल ही चलाए जा रहे हो क्या? वॉकमैन लगाया था या कुछ गाने वाने भी सुन रहे थे या ऐसा कुछ था, या what was going through? I mean, you can't see here, there, इधर कुछ नहीं कर सकते आप, तो वो क्या था? We saw some pictures of these guys following 15 feet behind you, पीछे मुड़ के देखते थे कि ये लोग आ रहे हैं, नहीं आ रहे, क्या सीन है उसका? How was that like?
So I'll say a few words, Amit. So first of
Yes.
all, in our crew, there was no cyclist except one guy who was doing small brevees. Okay, and he was on because he would help us out with repairing his cycle if in case he had a flat or whatever. Rest of the crew, none of us had any. So we were not in a position to really advise Amit on what he should be doing and how he should be riding. Let's get that clear. In the beginning, in the first few days, it was Amit who was encouraging us. He was motivating us. You guys can do it. You know what I'm saying? As a crew. So it was a given that he's going to do this race. But for us to really understand how to do this, how we are going to manage 12-hour cycles, हमारे लिए तो हम लोग नॉर्मल डोमेस्टिक लोग हैं, तो हमारे लिए बड़ा चैलेंज था कि कैसे इसको करना. वो आर्मी में कैसे सोना, और हम लोग होटल में जाके घुस जाते थे कहीं इन टर्न्स. तो इस तरह से हम लोग मैनेज करते. बट आफ्टर हाफ ऑफ द रेस, that's when it started becoming tough for Amit, in the sense what happens with these races is, in the beginning 60% is physical, which was very much under his control. Then the later part becomes really a mind game. It's a mind which has to be kept in control, because you lose it, You lose your motivation, then you're gone. And many of these people who did not finish, DNFs is in that phase. It's in the last 30%.
So
So,
we've got a very, sorry to interrupt, but we've got a very
yeah,
interesting question from Joel. Joel was asking, I can imagine the pain in the buttocks riding on
yeah,
the seat for 24 hours for such a long time. I mean,
yeah.
you want to answer that, Amit? What was that pain like,
Yeah. You need what is the iron butt for this. so so
उसके
actually, yeah.
उसके लिए क्या
This is
ट्रेनिंग
not.
की थी आपने to get an iron button और उसके लिए भी ट्रेनिंग होती है या
See,
उसको
you
कोई
train,
कहीं से
but
सीखते हैं
you find the best cycling shot and you find the best saddle which will suit you. But whatever best you will actually find, it will still first 3 4 days it's fine, 5 days. Then it will start hurting you. Then what I used to do, I used to change bikes. I used to sit on different bikes, so different saddles, so different shape of the saddle. So it used to hit me at different place. And then later on I started wearing double shorts. So I used to wear double cycling shorts, and I got through those 12 days. So yeah, it's painful. It's like horrible after, I think after 7 8 days. It's all, the skin over there is all very soft, and it's all maybe, and some actually riders get very horrible saddle sores, and they can't sit on the bike there, and it is very difficult. So a lot of riders, they give up with ramp just because of that, of those saddle sores, that they are so bad, they just can't continue in the race. So yeah, you need a iron butt for this. Maybe gifted.
या और उसके लिए तो कोई आपकी सपोर्ट टीम भी आपका कुछ कर नहीं सकती ना आई मीन लाइक
नहीं,
अगर
कुछ नहीं कर
कोई बोले
सकते.
कि भैया यहाँ पे कर दो या किसी को तो क्या मिलेगा
I think he lost about 15 pounds, Amit, if I'm not wrong, from the start to end. 15 pound तेरा गया, almost 7 8 kgs loss of weight हुआ
Yes.
in the 12 days, and most of it was in those areas where you are padded. So yeah.
fabulous, we're just gonna put up this image that you can see the world's toughest bicycle race. You guys are at the finish line. You achieved it. I mean that was phenomenal. Not only for Amit, क्योंकि वो तो कर ही रहा था, लेकिन for Jitu and the whole gang and everybody
Yeah.
being there. Ship में आप सो रहे हैं, आर्मी में घूम रहे हैं. Still, you could have looked at the sights around and all. I don't know what the trip was like for you and things like that, because somebody's driving, आप आराम से आगे में बैठे हैं, you are worried about him, लेकिन indirect support आप कर नहीं, I mean directly support आप कर नहीं सकते हैं, indirectly आप support कर रहे हैं उसको at the stop when you were going to go there, you see all of that, but we can see you guys rejoicing at the finish line, and it must have been absolutely crazy to do that. What I'm going to do right now is, I'm going to try and play a video that you guys did of the Ram, and let me see if I can pull that up and all, because I think that's going to be very, very exciting for our viewers to watch and see that particular video. Hang on, let me just go full screen on this, and 1 second. Just remove this. Let me get that other one on. Let me just share that, because that video is absolutely amazing जो हमारे पास है, and I'm sure that all of us would like to see that. Let's just play this video and
Yeah.
There's no audio.
for some strange reason we don't have audio in this. But anyway, let's just see the visuals. So why don't you just tell us about these visuals? What's going on over here? क्या हो रहा है? What is this? Just lead us through this.
Amit, go
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So actually, this is the before the race preparations and all. You can see all the crew getting prepared, and that's my mother. She's talking about the race and the importance of the race, and we had a small photo shoot before the race, and you can see we are all getting prepared, and so these are all actually ordinary people. They are not some sports persons and all, but that is why I call them our Lagan team. So this is the start line of the ramp at Oceanside near San Diego. You can see me going off from the start line. And this is the Arizona desert. And here I'm riding day and night. You can see I'm riding, and my crew is just supporting me and talking to me continuously throughout the night and day. And you can see the daylight coming up, and here you can see my crew on the sides, and they are just observing me and super monitoring that I'm progressing properly in the race, and they are giving me food and water all on the bike. So we want to save every minute actually, because it is every day 450 kilometers in this horrible terrain of climbing, heat, and it's a hot race because this race happens in June in America, and it's all summer. So you have some 18, 19 hours of daylight, and here they are cheering me, and that's one of the hand cyclists also. So here they are cheering me. This is Kansas actually. So you can see the flats of Kansas, and here I'm actually climbing in Colorado. So this is Colorado, and this is Wolf Creek Pass, which is the highest point of the race. And I'm sometimes resting on the sides of the road, and my crew is like motivating me. And so this is Colorado, Wolf Creek Pass, and and then we went through all the different states of Kansas, Indiana, Missouri, West Virginia, and Appalachian Mountain Range, and the Rocky Mountain Range, and through 12 days, and we I also used to walk also sometimes, just to because sometimes I was very sleepy and hallucinating, so I used to walk. And so this is again Kansas somewhere, and uh, we are actually going through, and this is actually the finish point of RAM, the Annapolis. This is just after finishing the race. All my crew members, they are all congratulating me, Nikhil sir, and my whole crew, they are all celebrating. Bhanu Rajgopalan sir, and Sachin sir, Sachin Kute, and this is actually the final parade finish of the ramp, and this is where they bring me, and Jitu sir is putting the Indian flag onto my shoulders, and I finished the race, and I actually became the first Indian rookie rider to finish the race in my first attempt. And so this is what you get at the finish line. You get a medal, and you get a souvenir, and you just go home. There is no money involved in this, nothing. So that's the whole fun of RAM. Yeah.
No audio.
All right, sorry. Yeah, so what you do get, in spite of no money, no nothing, is a medal over there. But at the end of the day, you spend क्या 40-50 लाख रुपए आप लोगों ने इसमें खर्च किया होगा ये करने के लिए,
My
raise the money to do all of this thing. So I'm sure that Chitu and all these guys would have been instrumental in raising all that money, getting all that
yeah,
support to
yeah.
make
I
sure that
mean,
yeah.
we have a group of friends here in Nagpur. We do show. I mean, we do support projects like this. So when we did, I forgot to tell you that before we took him on the took on the RAM project, we asked Amit to do a 2,500 kilometers ride on the cycle. Nagpur, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Hubli, Pune, and Nagpur. And he did that in 5 hours, 5 days and 5 hours, which is when we realized that if he's done half the distance in less than half the time, then maybe he's a good chance that he can do the full thing. And that's when we started raising the money, and a lot of people came in and gave in their contributions. And I think, yeah, we were able to do very well on the finance part of it, because we just raised the right amount of funds, got in the cycles and the equipment, and a lot of people, a lot of friends in the US were supporting with the equipment and all along the way. So it worked out very, very well. They also supported him when he went for 2 months in advance. He and his wife had gone. They put him up. They looked after him. They took him on. They crewed him during those trials. So huge support. We were totally about 21 people in total who supported the entire RAM. Because many of them were floating. They were coming in and going out, and others were coming in, joining, things like that. So it was a huge effort, and it was a great victory for the team as well. It's a great team effort.
Yeah. Actually, it's a very big team effort. Even though I'm the only rider, the entire team actually works behind you, and there are more than like 20 people booing you, but more than 1,000 supporting you, cheering you on Facebook, cheering on. They are following you on the GPS system, and there is so much of pressure because of that you have to get this thing done, because you might never get another opportunity to do this, because it is so difficult. That's why they say even to get up to the that kind of ramp, it's a big achievement.
No, sure, you did that. You did the rap. Congratulations. And then you went on to do something like, we've taken so much time to talk about this. Now, let's just quickly talk about the Red Bull Trans-Siberian Extreme. Now, this is what 9,100 kilometers, the world's longest bike race on the planet. Moscow to Vladivostok. I mean, आपको क्या पेन से इतना प्यार हो गया था कि आपने कहा एक तो मैं कर लिया, ठीक है, मेरे को मेडल आ गया, बस बढ़िया। अभी जीतू भाई है उधर, है ना, वो पैसा इंतजाम कर लेगा, सब कुछ कर लेगा, सपोर्ट तो मिल जाएगा मेरे को। अब ये उससे भी लंबा, मोर पेन। आई मीन लाइक, डॉक्टर साहब सब ठीक है ना? आई मीन लाइक what went on over here? Wow, I mean,
Yeah, this is special. Trans-Siberian Extreme is the most special race in the world. Everybody talks about ramp and all, but I think Trans-Siberian Extreme is the most special race. There are only 7 finishers of this race in this world, and I am the 7th guy and only Asian. So, and it's a very, very long race, 9,100 kilometers. You can go back to that slide, and very, very long and very, very arduous. And you actually cross 7 time zones, 4 different geographical climatic zones, and there is a lot of climbing in this race, almost 70,000 meters of climbing, which almost comes down to some 9 Mount Everest of climbing. And it is ultra cycling race, a stage race, and it is, I think, the most one of the most difficult races in the world, and I don't think so there is anything harder than this on the planet. Means, of course, there might be something, but this is super long and super arduous and very difficult weather conditions, because in the morning it is, in the daytime it is very hot in Siberia during summer, and then it becomes very cold in the night. It goes up to 0 degrees on the highways. So 0 to 35 degrees of range of temperature you have to bear almost every day. And of course, Siberia is very, very beautiful, extremely beautiful kind of like region of the world, but very harsh also, and not much population in Russia, so you are like going 300, 400 kilometers in forest only, continuous forest, and there is nothing much, just one big road and some traffic coming in, going in, and that's it. And very very long race, and I think the most special thing of my life. Yeah, Vineet.
Timmy, Timmy, we can't hear you.
Vineet, we can't
There
hear
we are.
you.
Now you can. So Joel is saying the man in his machine. Please provide a brief summary about your bikes because I believe Joel is also a cyclist and all. So कौन सी साइकिल थी आपकी जो आप लोग यूज करते थे? Can you tell us a little bit about that also, please?
I use Scott bikes, which is a European brand actually, and so I use road bike. I use a climbing bike of Scott, and then I have a time trial bike also. So I have all kinds of bikes of Scott only. Yeah.
So Scott is something that you subscribe to and all. And then Sammy's got a very interesting question. He says, how does it actually feel, when you're a few kilometers away from the finish line?
Yeah, actually, it feels pathetic actually because when you are actually near the finish line, you don't want to finish because it's all over. You have to go back to your normal life. So which actually is pretty boring sometimes. So I think it is extremely. It's all mixed emotion, but actually you generally you feel. I feel very very sad, and I try to enjoy them. Whatever the scenery and all you can see in those last 2 days. One day you can just try to enjoy and absorb as much as possible. So that's what I do.
So Joel is again asking that, are these carbon fiber bikes that you use? They are
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
night
yeah,
serviceable.
they
They are
are.
carbon fiber bikes. And, and I guess that is why they are so expensive. एक बाइक का कीमत कितना होता होगा? 2 लाख, 3 लाख, 4 लाख क्या?
Yeah, some bikes are 2 lakh. Couple of bikes are 4 5 lakh rupees.
And I think the time trial is around 10 lakhs, isn't
Crazy.
it?
Around 8 lakh.
Amazing. तो ये I read somewhere कि ये जब आप बाइक्स लेते हैं तो इसके साथ पेडल भी नहीं आते, तो पेडल भी आपको एक्स्ट्रा खरीदना पड़ता है, इसके साथ कुछ फ्रेम आता है।
हाँ, इसका पेडल भी नहीं आता है और बहुत सारी चीजें नहीं आती है, तो पेडल और अलग से खरीदना पड़ता है।
No, that is absolutely insane. I mean, you pay so much money for a motorcycle, for a bike, and then आगे जाके फिर आपको वो भी नहीं मिलता, और पेडल भी कभी एक्स्ट्रा पैसा दो, सब कुछ का एक्स्ट्रा पैसा दो, तो मतलब तो this is amazing. You're not only the first Asian to actually participate and successfully compete and complete in the RAM in the first go itself, but you're also the seventh person to do the Trans-Siberian Extreme kind of thing, and also ये सब तो आपने बहुत बड़ा achievement है. I don't know if anybody is ever going to be able to do it because you know motivation, willpower, financial support. It's absolutely
Yeah.
insane. Your support crew has to be right there, so it's not just the
Yes.
rider, but it's also the
Yeah.
support crew, your mental health. A lot of factors come into play, and also kudos to you for doing that. You're an absolute legend in whatever you've achieved, and now you are going and doing something that is what something else now. Miles, milers. Tell us a little bit about this thing. What is all this about?
Yeah, actually, I would like to talk about the financial support, and a lot of people think that I'm some very rich person from home and have so much of money. And but when we started RAM project, I didn't even had 1 lakh rupees in my bank account. But I think I dared that. I took up the challenge, and I said that let's have the courage to do this. The money will come from somewhere. So I always believe in this that if you are really want to do something, the money will find you. It will come. You just have to start that project. Just go ahead, do whatever you have start training, start your project, put up a crowdfunding platform and all, and tell the whole world that you are want to do this. Tell the universe, and then the universe will find its way to get it done. So that's why I always tell people that don't stop your projects for money. Don't never stop. So, uh,
So, so at this point in time, and all, जब अभी हमारा lockdown है और ये सब चल रहा है, oh, 1 second. So before that and all, so Joel, this was got another question. Are you friends with Pankaj Patil on the folding?
yeah, on Facebook.
Okay, so there you go, Joel. Your question is answered. So, Papas, on the lockdown thing, and then we'll talk a little bit more about your milers and your new initiatives that you're doing and all of this other things that you're doing. Lockdown के दौरान, I mean, what has been your mental this thing? क्योंकि अब तो आप बाहर जा नहीं सकते, साइकिल चला नहीं सकते, बाहर जाएंगे पुलिस वाला उधर डंडा मारेगा, साइकिल के अंदर एक दिन डंडा घुसाएगा, आपका तो 8-10 लाख रुपए का साइकिल है, पूरा वापस हो जाएगा. What are you doing? I mean, how are you, motivating yourself and doing all this? घर में साइकिल चलाते हैं क्या?
Yeah, I do a lot of indoor training also. I have a very good state-of-art indoor training equipment for cycling, and I train on that. And in lockdown also, we actually did a 48-hour indoor cycling, and which we streamed on Facebook Live, and we streamed it for 48 hours, and I did some 1,300 kilometers in 48 hours non-stop, and we raised 2,10,000 rupees on a crowdfunding platform, and we actually donated all that money to our Nagpur Police Department and Nagpur Municipal Corporation during this whole pandemic fight. So that was something very satisfying, to do something even in lockdown. And I did a lot of Facebook live trainings for people, to be active at home, to be fit at home. So I think lockdown was actually so yeah, this is a very important picture. Family support and support of friends, which is extremely important. Everybody thinks like I am some guy who has no family, nothing, and he has no responsibilities in his life. So and that's why he goes and does all this rap and Trans-Siberian kind of things. So
No, but you definitely have to be mental, and you definitely have to be mental कि भाई पहले तो एक कर लिया और पेन से दोस्ती कर ली आपने कि जब तक दर्द नहीं हो रहा, फिर आपका जवाब जब कि रेस खत्म होने वाली है तो यू फील लाइक सैड, हाय अब क्या करूंगा, इतनी तो मैंने कर लिया, सारा कुछ कर लिया, अब खत्म हो गया, हाउ कैन आई गेट मोर दिस थिंग एंड डू ऑल ऑफ दैट स्टफ. लेकिन फिर वो भी नहीं हुआ, उसके बाद चलो ये तो कर लिया, उसके बाद एक 9,000 किलोमीटर का एक और ट्रांस साइबेरियन वाला भी मैंने कर देखा है, चलो वो भी कर लिया, अब क्या करेंगे? So my question was directly related to that, because you have all of these friends and these extreme things that you're doing. Not only that, I mean, I think you look at your family and everyone; those people also must be really, really mental to understand you and कि वही नहीं इसको इसी से लगा हुआ है, इसको करने दो, जाने दो, do all of this stuff. This is absolutely madness. So hats off, big salute to you for doing what you're doing, and now you've gone on and you founded the ProHEALTH वाला जो आपका organization है, and now you're
we are actually now the objective is to train others, make others more active, and give them this nice lifestyle of doing endurance sports and all. And then we are doing something called as Tripla pedals. We want to make cycling as a way of life. People should who are going to market, going to office, they should actually do it on a cycle. It's very easy to do 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer cycling. You don't need some special fitness to do it. So I think my next bigger projects are actually towards more social impact projects rather than my own self achievements. So I think because I think making Nagpur a cycling city is I think is a very difficult project than doing RAM. Uh, uh,
But I'm
so
sure
it's
with all your, yeah, with everything that you've achieved and everything, and with support of people like G2 and the sponsors that are there and everything, I'm
yes.
sure that you can do it, you will do it, you will make Nagpur. And Joel's asking, where are you from? From Mumbai? No, Joel, he's from Nagpur, and that is why it is his dream and his endeavor to make Nagpur a cycling capital of India at least, and to put it on a map with a different kind of thing, ताकि ये सब कुछ कर सके वहाँ पे, and to develop a new kind of an infrastructure. So yeah, if you're interested, get in touch with him on Facebook, and yeah, he'll be able to help you out, guide you, cycling, yeah, mental, because he does that a lot. He not only he's got a foundation and he's got lots of foundations that you've seen. We put up slides over there. You can go and visit his Facebook page and follow him on Instagram and see what he does. Joel's got a very interesting thing that he's asking. Tour the world. Is that next on your list? Something that you want to do? You want to go around the world
No,
next? Something that nobody's
no.
done?
Presently, actually, I'm focusing back on Ironman. I want to be the one of the best Ironman athletes myself, and I want to do some Ironman races, like serious Ironman racing, and because I can finish Ironman, so that is not a big challenge. But the thing is that I want to improve my timings. I want to be one of the best. So that is where actually you improve as an athlete, you know. And then I want to do this miles and miles and all. World tour and all is not anywhere there because for world tour I will have to go away from all these responsibilities and just be cycling somewhere, which is actually not required at present point in time. Maybe after 20 years, when I've done a lot of other things, I can think of doing something like that. But yeah,
That is
actually, I want to RAM again. So I want to set up a very good time for RAM, and then I want to do some other ultra cycling races in coming years. But nothing like World Tour or something.
so
Because
you're
it's too
saying
much
that
of
you
time, and I can't be away from work for so much long time. So it's a
so yeah
balance, balance in between personal and bigger goals.
so
So I
that's it.
can't.
No, so
Yeah.
yeah, so Joel, Joel's also saying that Mumbai में भी कुछ शुरू करो and all. आप लोग वहाँ पे नागपुर में कर ही रहे हैं. What about plans of expansion into other cities? So Mumbai is one place which is so crowded, and cycling is definitely going to benefit a lot of people there and stuff like that. और जो आपका ये Ironman or fitness or training and all, as you can see, I will be your number one person and all. Yeah, Jitu, you have something to say?
Yeah, I think I should add on Amit's behalf that, right now, in the last, I think, 1 year, Amit has been training a lot of people for doing half Ironmans. I think we have
इनको भी
produced
train
about
करो
25.
please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you. I said मेरे को भी
We
train करो.
Half
I
and
need
full
training
also.
also.
I know, and these are all middle-aged guys, okay? All 30 plus, 40s. A lot of people who are regular guys have come under his training. At least 25 have gone and done half Ironmans. So that's what's
Wow.
happening in Nagpur. It's slowly we are getting number of people joining. M&M has about 300 people have joined in now. Many of them are, just at basic training, but many of them are now progressing towards that goal which they have of doing the triathlon, the half Ironmans. And I'm sure many of them will then graduate to go on to becoming full Ironmans. So that's all
Yeah, that
happening.
yeah, that is fantastic. The way you're doing it and all, and especially during these times of lockdown and all. It is something that a lot of people sitting at home, are wondering कि मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकता, ये नहीं कर सकता, वो नहीं कर सकता. That is why we started actually this hobby show, to get people to
Yeah.
realize that
I
with
Yeah.
me. And yeah, okay, yeah. So ये करना बहुत बहुत जरूरी है. And if, from the comfort of your home, if you can do something or start a program that will help all of us, maybe some online classes or something like that to get on to doing all of this and making better individuals of ourselves, because it's not only physical training, it's also mental training. And Chitu, a lot to learn from you guys also. Although I know you for many years, and thank you for getting Amit ji on the show today and inspiring a lot of us, uh, trying to share the insights. That I watched a lot of your stuff on YouTube and TED Talk and the various places, the IIMs, Bangalore, इधर उधर जहाँ पे भी आप appear हुए हैं and all of that. But today, I think the way that you guys have really come on and answered some of the very deepest questions and some of the secrets that you shared. I don't think it's been shared anywhere and all. And a lot of our viewers sitting at home, and when we especially take this video and put it out there, is going to inspire so many more people, make a lot more people aware of all of these things that you've done. Uh, let's just quickly run that video that we also have of the Trans-Siberian
Trans-Siberian.
one that will inspire a lot of our people sitting at home. So I'm just going to quickly pull that up, and maybe you can take us through this as well and show us what it's all about. And one quick rundown on that as well. Here we go. We will share this, start this particular video, and here we go. Amit, he's busy on the phone. You're Trans-Siberian. You want to say anything about this? You want to tell us about this?
Yeah, is the sound coming now?
No.
Yeah, so this is this Trans-Siberian, and it's the longest ultra cycling 9,100 kilometer race, and as you can see, very harsh weather conditions in Siberia, rain, and it's a very cold rain, and it's a stage race, and only 6 riders were called for this race from all over the world, and I was the very rookie rider, and for the first time attempting something like this. So it shows me like some part of my training and all, and so it shows that I've done some other ultra cycling races and then race across America, and so this was my the RAM achievement, the race across America, and then it shows my Ironman and everything, and then I also won the Deccan Cliffhanger in 2017, and then it says journey is as important as destination, and so this is all Siberia. You can see the forest and the landscape, and it's pretty harsh landscape and a lot of climbing, and 77,000 meters of climbing, and it's all one big straight road, and you have to ride in all different conditions, and so here you can see the riders going through different terrain, and this is all Siberia. You can see this terrain, very amazing geographical location in the world,
This is
and
absolutely mad. You're absolutely
yeah,
mad
and this
on
is
this.
all what, and here you can see me riding in the rain. This was almost for 500, 600 kilometers straight in rain only. It's all raining for 500, 600 kilometers. So, and all cold rain. And here you can see me stopping at one particular stop and changing my clothes and drinking water, and uh, this is the terrain, and it's all extremely long. on 25 days on the bike, 9,100 kilometers. And you can see Jitu sir and Renuka ma'am, and here we actually come close to the finish of the race, and this is that bridge where you actually finish the race in Vladivostok, and the seventh guy to do the race successfully on the planet, and the first Asian uh, athlete to actually do this race successfully, and uh, so it shows. I think that's the finish of the video. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It shows the final medal ceremony and all. So that's it. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing, very, very inspirational, Amitji. Jitu, you guys have come on and you guys have shown everything. Joel, again, he's also an ardent cyclist, and again, he says, I haven't ridden since 2 years because he had calcium fracture, but definitely probably get his bike out this weekend. And this was an immediate wake up call. Thank you, Dr. Samarth, Mr. Nayak, and of course, me for this
Yeah.
episode.
Thank you, everyone.
Most
Thank you for having us.
most inspirational for all our friends and everyone, to put this message across and all. And Joel, you need any kind of guidance and all, feel free to hook up with Amitji, Dr. Amit, and I'm sure that, with his foundations and the other things that he's doing and all the new initiatives that he's taking, especially during the, this time of lockdown. I had gone through, your videos, but like I said, अब आपके साथ बात करने के बाद I feel even more inspired to get off of the couch, which I've been sitting on. I indulge in photography, but yeah, I think now I definitely want to, try and get back into shape. I had a bad accident a couple of years ago, quite aware of it, but I'm back on the road driving. That's what I like to do. I like to drive, but yeah, physical fitness is not my strength. As you can see, but definitely I do want to make it my strength, and I will be bugging you, Dr. Amit. You don't know what you've got yourself into, but
Yes,
most
sir.
inspirational. Thank you so much for joining us on this, episode of Let's Talk on Loofre platform. We're gonna put it out there. We're gonna inspire a lot more people, and a lot more people are gonna be getting in touch with you and asking for your guidance and everything to be doing this. Anyway, till then, till next time when we have more inspirational stories with more inspirational people. Thank you guys for joining us, and you guys have a good day. Stay safe. Very, very important in this time.
Yeah, bye. Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.